Welcome to PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno, and holy moly, go get my telescope because all the stars are out tonight. I'm joined by Rogues Gallery. I'm joined by Anthony Bongiorno.
Hi, everybody.
I'm joined by Janine Gagliardi.
Hello.
And Jen's here.
Hi.
Hey, Jen.
Hi.
So
she's not getting the Jennifer Grace Luttrell treatment today.
JGL. So today's episode. So it's first of all happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We just ate some heart-shaped, very stale donuts.
They were quite stale. Isn't today Valentine's Day?
What's that mean?
What is that?
It's like, okay, so Valentine's Day is when you take your side piece out.
Ooh.
And it's around Valentine's Day, but it's never on actual Valentine's Day.
That's pretty gross.
That's for your spouse.
That's fun.
To call your side piece a swine is
Valentine. No, the guy who's cheating is the swine.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see.
I
Okay.
Valentine's
Well,
Day
happy
cops.
Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, or Palentine's Day.
Valentine's is what?
It's
day
just
after?
ladies go
Is it
out.
13?
Ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The day before.
What's today? Wait, actually,
What is the date?
when are you listening to
It is.
Wednesday.
That's
So it's
right.
the
So
day
it's 2
after.
days after
this?
Valentine's
So it is the
Day.
16th.
Oh no, it's the 16th. I think 15th is Singles Awareness Day.
We're aware.
Okay. Well, in honor of Singles Awareness Day,
The day after Singles Awareness.
yes, we are going to talk about our favorite romantic comedies, rom-coms for the kids on the street.
Mhm.
And we all did 5. We have 15.
We did more.
I have 10.
You have 10,
I
really?
have at least 10.
Okay. I'm going to need you to...
We might have some that overlap, though.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
Should probably be for the best.
I need you to cut that down to a nice sturdy 5.
I'll cut it down to 9.
As the kids say on TikTok, you did not understand the assignment. So, this is something I've been doing lately, so I like to tell you the years that they're coming from.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't have those.
Well,
on
we can
hand.
just quickly do that.
Okay, well. My films, let's see. 3 are from 2000s.
Oh,
And
okay.
2 are from the 90s. No, sorry, 1 is from the 80s. 1 is from the 80s. The earliest I go on this list is 89.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Wow, 7 of my 10 are from the 90s. A lion's share from the 90s.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
1 from the 60s. And then a couple from the 2000s.
Oh, you were from the 60s?
I
Okay.
do.
I have 2 from the 80s. And then, let's see. I have to check some dates. I'm pretty sure the rest are from the 90s.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. They're all from the 90s.
Yeah. I think the 90s were a rom-com renaissance period.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? I think these movies also fill in like a real like nostalgia wedge for people. Like
Sure.
there's something really comforting about rom-coms. There's something really comforting about nostalgia. So often people will combine the two and it'll be something comforting that they saw when they were adolescents.
Right, there's
or,
also
when they
not
were
a lot of
younger.
crazy stakes. So, like, you could put a rom-com on as you're going to sleep. You could put a rom-com
Yeah.
on in the background. It's just nice background noise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We also should say that this is sort of a genre that is dying in a way because cinema has become such a thing of, like, it's got to be a huge Marvel movie or a huge Star Wars movie that the only people making rom-coms is Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
Always Be My Maybe or To All the Boys I Love Before. These would have been theatrical releases 10, 15 years ago. Now they go straight to Netflix.
20 years ago, Always Be My Maybe would have been a Nora Ephron joint.
Yeah. Crazy Rich Asians is the only, like, recent
Big one.
rom-com that was
Yeah.
a big deal.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
And YA literature,
Palm
I
Springs
think.
got a lot of attention. I think that was on Hulu.
Is that the time travel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie theater is for superheroes, and that's it.
Yeah, you gotta have a cape.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any problem with defining for yourself a rom-com?
Yes.
Because here's how I defined it. To me, it's got to be obviously a comedy, but to me, the romance has to be the A plot. I found that a lot of lists would be like the B plot, and it's like, well, the B plot, it's easy to make the B plot romance. Like Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day to me is not a rom-com. It's a comedy, but it's about this guy who's trapped in time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, this love story with Andy McDowell is there, but it's not the A plot. So to me, I wouldn't count that.
Yeah, I ran into that too. I also ran into, when I was looking through lists, like a lot of movies that I would categorize as like teen movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, ooh, do I include this or is this something different? Because I guess technically it's a romantic comedy, but I don't know. To me, when all the characters are in high school, it automatically makes it a teen movie, and that makes it something different.
Mm-hmm.
I have one.
Like 16 Candles or 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay. 16 Candles, definitely. I think there's so much going on in that.
Mm-hmm.
Her story with Jake Ryan, it doesn't happen to the
so
very
incidental.
end.
Yeah.
There's so much racism and sexual assault before she gets to
Yeah, tons to enjoy.
I have one on my list that I think might not totally fit my own definition, but by God, it needed to be here.
Mine too. There was one I struggled with, but ultimately I felt like the impetus for the film is romance, even though it's, I don't know, the things surrounding the romance are more important.
It's
what are the things you remember, like
right. I mean,
without name, I could name it. It's Coming to America.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I saw that on a few lists. I've never seen that film, but I
would never
love
think of it as that, but I would
Yeah.
never think of it as
He's,
that.
I mean, he's looking for a wife, right? Like he comes to
Oh,
look for
yeah,
a
you're
wife,
right.
and he meets her right away, and then it's all about I don't know, I guess he's trying to impress her, but all the comedy, like he's not really with her that often.
Right. Did you see all those like Spotify memes this last week that was like this just in, Sexual Chocolate took all his music off Spotify in protest of Joe Rogan. Sexual Chocolate.
You're referring to Coming to America,
The sequel.
yes, which is a classic.
Yes. Okay, so who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Okay, Anthony, go.
I'll start because this movie's the reason for the season.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's a little flick called You've Got Mail.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. It's
So
also on my list, so we'll just
Okay.
do that.
Film.
It's a longing film, which I'm not saying it doesn't qualify, but I just wanted to say it's the subcategory that what's her name, Nora Ephron, sort of was big in, the longing film.
Mhm.
The relationship doesn't begin into the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's so much. To me, I feel like the mark of a good romantic comedy is charm.
Well, you got Jean
Too.
Stapleton.
You got
She's
Jean
charming.
Stapleton. She's charming as hell. You got Meg. You got Tom.
You got
have a golden
books.
retriever.
You got
books.
Dabney Coleman living on a boat.
Amazing.
Caramel
It's-
macchiatos.
Yes, you have everything.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
at her meggiest.
yes, her Meggiest Meg.
It was her apex. Like that was it for her,
She's
right?
never
Hair-
been more adorable than she is in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, her hair is great. Her books are great. I want to live in the New York of You've Got Mail. My favorite scene of that movie, and there are so many, is when he comes to visit her when she's sick.
Yeah.
And she's in bed with all
Yes.
the Oz books out
Yeah.
on her bed, and like she just like reads children's literature while she's sick to comfort her.
Is that the scene that begins with Signed, Sealed, Delivered?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, baby.
Yes, it's got a great soundtrack, and it's got Parker Posey.
Yes, and then she has a little romance with Greg Kinnear.
It's
Everybody
so
ends
good.
up with somebody.
It's so good. The aesthetics of it, I love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's inspired by,
The shop around the corner.
yeah.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen the original.
Imagine the same thing, but with letters,
Oh,
with
that's
paper.
essentially what it is.
Oh, and for the kids
Star
listening,
in that we would
I think
would know.
James Stewart.
Oh, is it?
I think
Oh,
so.
I love him.
I want to explain to the kids what You Got Mail means because
Oh yeah.
That's the thing about You Got Mail. It's so incredibly dated, but
Yeah.
I do think that it really ages very well,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's still pretty beloved.
right. They use the AOL,
Yeah.
which was a scam in the beginning of the internet, where they just basically gave you you paid for an email and a web browser, things that are all free now. And when you get mail, you'd hear a voice go, "You got mail," and so that's the joke of it.
She's Shop Girl and he's NY152.
Yeah. Right.
And they have
I hoped it was you.
Yeah. They met in a chat room. She was feeling lonely on her 35th birthday, I think. So she went into a chat room for New York singles, and then they started IMing each other or emailing or whatever. And so
there's a lot of ASLing in that chat room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For people who haven't seen the film, they are in love online, but they are rivals in real life because she owns a small little children's bookshop on the Upper West Side, and Tom Hanks is like
Fox Books,
Fox
but
Books,
it's
like
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
His name is Benedict Dalton.
Also, Dave Chappelle is in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't mention him. Although he is, I mean, everyone's charming in that movie.
Yeah, he's all right as the friend.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's not being transphobic.
He's giving Judy Greer. He's doing his best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love when they're talking about her and it's just the two of them at the gym. And Tom Hanks is like, she's beautiful. She's a pill, but she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Great banter.
Yeah.
Well, he figures out.
He figures out
first, and then you see it's like him playing like cat and mouse games with her, like suggesting something to her in person, and then giving her different information online, and that's fun and charming because he really does like her. It doesn't turn him off. Then he starts to grow an affection for her. I think that's when he starts to like really fall in love with her.
Love trumps capitalism.
Yeah. He gives her advice about he gives her I can't think of it right now, but he gives her advice about something through email, and then she brings it up to him in person, and he's like, "That's terrible advice."
Yeah.
Or like, and then he's like, NY152, 152 moles on his face.
152 birthdays.
So that's also on your list?
That's on my list as well.
Okay.
It's a cozy movie.
Cozy.
It's super cozy.
Yeah. It's like 9 hours long. TNT stretches it out to like a good 14 hours.
Oh, yeah.
When was I texting Janine? Was it the Christmas Eve? It was like around Christmas.
Okay. Because it starts in the fall. I always consider it a fall movie, even though it like ends in spring or summer. It like goes through the seasons.
I think it's a full year because it ends in the spring
or
summer. Yeah, but I was watching it around Christmas time.
Christmas features pretty heavily.
You being like, this movie has it all.
Ghosts.
It's got everything.
It does.
I don't remember Ghost. Does it have ghosts?
Well, she sees like her mom.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's got Sarah Ramirez.
It does have Sarah Ramirez.
As what?
The checkout girl at Gristedes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. So, are we going to just go back and forth? Because I think I have one that might be on yours as well. It's Clueless.
That's on mine.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
I know you do.
I considered it a teen movie.
That's the one. Yeah, that's that's the one that I had trouble with too. It's on mine, but I was like, is it a romantic comedy? But if you think of it, it's Emma. Emma is a romantic comedy.
It is Emma, and I do. For me, it's a rom-com. I mean, okay, so Jane Austen, the original queen of the rom-com.
Sure.
The queen of banter, is updated by Amy Heckerling. I think it's what, 95?
94.
Oh, 94. Okay.
Oh, maybe it is 95 actually. Sorry.
So
95.
95. Okay. And it's Emma updated for Beverly Hills Teens in the 90s.
Sure.
Starring the effervescent Alicia Silverstone. She's wonderful. The ageless Paul Rudd as her stepbrother.
Dan Hedaya.
Dan Hedaya as her dad.
Amazing.
Pitch perfect casting. It's a romp. It's so much fun.
We watched it. Me and Jen watched it like last year. Mm-hmm. We sort of drive through. John, I always say drive through, the drive in. We just drove through. We're like, hey.
I caught the
it's so much better than it needed to be.
Yeah.
It could have been really flimsy, but all of it has breadth to it. Every character, even Cher, especially Cher, has a depth. Like the whole character of Cher is like supposed to be that she's shallow, but in fact there's a lot there. All of them.
Which is a good adaptation because that's Emma, right? Like Emma is spoiled and she
but not necessarily a bad person.
She's not bad. No, and she can be stuck up.
Right.
But both Jane Austen and this adaptation make her confront all of those things, all the negative aspects of her personality. And they're like, you can be so much better than this.
Right.
You
right.
have everything in the world going for you.
Yeah.
And that's always like the voice of, I want to say Austin, but also as the stepbrother is the voice, that little nagging voice of, I know you're better than this. I see you for who you are.
Yeah.
You're better than this like painted bird.
Yeah. My favorite Dan Hedaya moment, I'll just tell you before you ask, is
Get out of my chair.
is
That makes me howl every time.
no, I love the look that he gives Paul Rudd when Paul Rudd's like, oh, I should just go see if she's okay, and he knows that he knows what's up.
Yeah.
But actually, maybe the greatest fucking burn of all time. You're a virgin who can't drive. Ow.
So good.
Oh, I thought you were going to give a Danny Hedaya burn. What
do you think the death of Sammy Davis Jr.
Opening of the Rat Pack.
What's with you, kid?
I love it. What's with you, kid? It's the best.
Do you think I offer teenage drivers alcohol?
Yeah. I always loved what he said when he says, you divorce wives, not children.
Yeah.
I always thought that was sweet.
But also odd because he didn't like raise this kid.
Yeah.
And if he did, it would be weird that he and Cher were together.
So many jokes in that movie went over my head when I was a kid, and now I appreciate so much. Like when, like the whole thing of Christian being like into the 30s, 40s, and 50s, I didn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Tony Curtis thing.
I love the Tony Curtis thing. I love when he's like, "Do you like Billie Holiday?"
I love
him. So good.
Well, he's like, he knows all about the sculptures that are in her dad's garden.
At one point, he's like reading Howl. Like he's just like this cultured.
He's such a like college kid. That's a lot of.
He would be Timothy Chalamet if they made it now.
Oh
Don't
yes!
even say that.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What a dreamboat.
What about the romance between Wallace Shawn and Miss Weiss? Miss
Geis.
Miss Geis?
Mhm.
Very sweet.
It's very sweet.
Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, but thy eternal summer shall not fade. Fat. Who wrote that? Cliff's Notes. So good. It's so warm too. It's not mean-spirited at all.
It's not mean-spirited. Directed by Amy Heckerling.
That's right.
Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Yeah. So she sort of, but she has two touchstone like teen movies.
Yeah.
I recently saw her in the scathing documentary Whatever Happened to Brittany Murphy, which is wild.
Scathing of Brittany Murphy?
No, it's scathing of, was her husband just did he kill her? Is he a con man? It's very, very weird.
People died of mold inhalation.
Yeah, but people, they also thought that he was fucking her mother because it was very. And Amy Heckling's like, I didn't like him. She went. Amy Heckling's like, she went from a beautiful girl to being crazy skinny, and this is what Hollywood does to you, and wild stuff.
Down these streets.
Yeah. Okay, so as always, I didn't write them in any order, but I'm going to try to give them to you in some kind of order, saving the best for last.
Okay.
When Harry Met Sally in 1989.
It's on my list.
It's not on mine specifically because I feel like it's the rom-com.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Because
I feel like it's the king.
I have a whole...
The king and queen.
treatise later about...
Okay.
The rom-com.
I know what you're going to say. I feel like I know what you're going to say. Are you going to say the rom-com is Annie Hall?
Yeah.
Problematic.
But we can't put it on the list.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, and it's not on my list.
We'll get into the whole Woody Allen of it all later. But yeah, When Harry Met Sally, written by Nora Ephron, directed by Rob Reiner. It's really, really funny. It's genuinely very funny. You know, and it was fresh. The idea of like they've known each other for like 10 years and you keep coming back to them. And, you know, I just, and again, it's got that warmness to it. And then you've got the subplot of like, Bruno Kirby and, Carrie Fisher getting together. And
good.
The scene where they're playing, Pictionary. It's just banger after banger scene. It's just such a, I don't know how to, best way to put it. Like, there's no fat on it at all. It's just like, you put the movie on and it's just like, perfect. There's nothing that doesn't like work in it.
And the fashions. The ribbed sweaters.
Oh my
Billy
God.
Crystal gets me good in that movie.
Billy Crystal.
You love him in the beginning when he's trying to be 18 when he's like 47.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's
Is
so
my
crazy.
king in that movie.
Billy Crystal has really, really inspired my like fall and winter fashions this year.
Sure.
In a big,
I could
big
see
way.
that.
I mean, do you see me what I'm wearing right
I
now?
could see that.
What he does in this movie with sweaters is, I mean,
Yeah.
unparalleled.
A lot of sweater work.
A lot of sweater work. Sometimes sweaters on top of sweaters, but he's pulling it
Yeah.
off. He's obviously a man who loves tailoring. His blazers are impeccable. What he does on his sick day when he's calling Sally is he wears a knit sweater on top and sweatpants on the bottom. And I've been copying this for weeks. I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
yeah, completely
To work every day.
To work every single day. I log on, I log off. I'm in my sweatpants.
Yeah.
Just like many of us, but you can elevate it. Harry teaches us that.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
He's a fashion icon.
Yeah.
Nora Ephron's aesthetic, her view of New York.
Mm-hmm.
I said it before, I'll say it again. It's like the New York I want to live in. I don't know if it's the New York that she lived in.
I mean, I don't know that anyone lives in that New
I
York.
don't know. She seems to live a pretty charmed life, but even her writing, like her personal essays and stuff, she just oozes charm.
Mhm.
That like classic New York charm.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because like you look at her early stuff, like Heartburn, which I never saw the film, but I read the book. That's like about a pretty shitty divorce.
Mhm.
But then she kind of goes into this like rom-com-y thing.
Mhm.
She also said famously that like when Harry Met Sally, she's like, I feel like I've gave people hope that they shouldn't have had of like a relationship that, you know, you've always wanted. It might not work.
Well, didn't
But
originally
I
she
think that's a
want them to be
misreading of the
together,
film.
And then Reiner wanted them to be together.
That I don't know.
That I
Wow.
read that originally she
Right.
wasn't going to put them together. At the
Right.
end.
Okay.
I love the interstitials of all the old couples.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
ends with them and talking about their wedding cake. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
And they've like done that to death, like in parodies
Yeah.
and things.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith has that.
Yeah.
And, like,
Harry Connick Jr. Music in it.
I'm always like, wasn't he like 18 when this movie came out or something?
Yeah,
like,
I
he's
think
not
he
that
was.
old.
He was
Yeah.
pretty young.
The ending, the New Year's Eve ending, that inspired.
Yeah.
It inspired
No.
one of my favorite episodes of the Mindy Project.
Oh,
Something
okay.
about just like New Year's Eve, I don't know. It just makes you feel
The
things.
song "Old Lang Syne" always
Yes.
gets you.
Yeah.
It gets you. And you know, everything he says, like when you know what you want to do for the rest of your life, you want the rest of your life to start now.
So
Mhm.
good. And when she says, I hate you because I love you, or whatever
Yeah,
she
yeah.
says, again, it's so good. She's like, I hate you, Harry. I hate you. I really hate you.
Yeah, yeah.
So good.
Can
Her
we
ordering,
say-
her ordering is a
her
famous thing.
ordering, yeah. Oh, well, that's what he says at the end. He's like, the way you order. I love the way that you
Yeah.
order makes me nuts.
I love that it takes you 45 minutes to order a sandwich.
Now, if you do have the pie, if you don't have the pie, then I would like
The ice cream,
Yeah,
right?
ice cream, no cherries.
We went to that to Cats.
Cats, yeah,
Mhm.
right. Where she
Once on
fakes the
your birthday.
orgasm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And they have the sign, like,
Yeah.
she sat here.
I'll
Yeah.
have what she's having.
yeah.
Iconic.
Anthony, you can go. You may go.
Oh,
You may
okay.
leave.
Anthony, you may leave. This is a weird one. Kissing Jessica Stein.
Oh, I love this movie.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I guess
I don't remember it very well.
this is probably pretty problematic in 2022.
Yeah.
It's
I haven't seen it in so long.
It's
But they kind of implied that she's like a fake lesbian.
that's exactly it.
Yeah, yeah.
But so she's like this 30-something who's just had failed relationship after failed
Mhm.
relationship, single gal, and she just like flirts with lesbianism and starts
Mhm.
dating a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I haven't seen it recently, but I saw it like a million times when I was younger, and it was just
Mhm.
like a comfort movie for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. No, it is like that kind of thing. I feel like it's around that time there were a lot of like movies that were set in like lofts in New
Mhm.
York that
Yeah.
had like, this big like iron doors. I feel like I associate that
Yeah.
with this movie a lot.
Absolutely.
It's
It's like that late 90s Friends, Sex in the City
Mhm,
era of
mhm.
like everything.
Everything's
Yeah.
in the meatpacking district.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who's the actress who plays her girlfriend? She's got like very big eyes.
The woman who plays Jessica Stein wrote it, I believe, as well.
Okay, she was also John Hamm's partner for like 20 years
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
And she said that she had known people for like who were friends for like 15 years when he wasn't famous that like
Mhm.
knew him as her partner.
Yeah.
And then once Mad Men started, they were like, "Wait, that's that John Hamm? He's so hot." And she was like, "Yeah, you've met him a million times."
He's using your bathroom right now.
Yeah, so the Jennifer Westfeld
Mm-hmm.
plays Jessica Stein. She also wrote that movie Friends with Kids, which I also really like.
Oh, I like that movie. Yeah.
And Heather Jurgensen is
Okay.
the woman who plays the love interest, Helen Cooper.
Okay.
Okay.
Ultimately, though, spoiler alert, she ends
Yeah.
up with Scott Cohen, like kind of in an Austin way, like the cranky guy who's always like ribbing her throughout the movie. She ends up with
Yeah,
him
like
at the
he
end.
works with her, right?
Yeah.
Is that yeah.
And he's
I
like,
remember
"Oh."
him. He's on Gilmore Girls, right?
Yes.
Isn't that
He's the teacher
He's
on
the
Gilmore
teacher.
Girls.
yeah.
Max?
Yeah,
I think
the English
so.
teacher.
Oh. See, it's like Chasing Amy. Like there was a time in the 90s where it was like you get applauded just for just admitting that gay people exist.
Yeah.
Like just
Right.
saying that there are gay people. It's like, wow, trailblazer.
There was something in that movie though. Like, okay, so I do remember. I watched this a lot too because I liked it a lot, and
It was an HBO like mainstay.
Yeah, it was always
Yeah,
on.
always
so
on.
I've seen it like a million times, not in its entirety. But basically, like she goes on a blind date, and is it accidental or does she do it on a lot?
It's accidental, but then they end up.
She says like that's when she says marinate. Let this marinate.
Yes.
And that like intrigues her. She's like, have you ever used that as a verb? Like, just let this marinate. And like, she really likes that about her. Then I remember she kind of pushes back because she's like,
Right.
she is gay or she's bisexual. I think she was also with a man prior.
Have the Helen character?
Is that her name in the movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Helen. I think I think by the time they start dating, she is like exclusively
She's
dating
with women. Okay.
Mhm.
So she kind of pushes her because she's like, hey, I like this, but I'm not looking for a friend. Like, I'm
Right.
looking for a relationship. So they do start sleeping together.
But just because Jessica gets sick, remember, and she brings her soup
yes.
because they're like, oh, we'll be friends.
Mhm.
And then I remember her like sneezing at the end of their first date, and then it
Mhm.
cuts to like Helen is bringing her soup because she's got a really bad cold. She's taking care of her,
Yeah.
and then they end up kissing as she's taking care of her
Mhm.
while she's sick. And then
And-
they start dating, sleeping together.
Right. And then she comes out to her family.
Yes.
Because I remember her friend who's like in the
Oh my
stairwell
God,
going like,
Jackie.
wow.
With Jackie Hoffman.
Yes.
And she goes, lesbians? It's so good. And she's like, I know. And Jackie Hoffman's like, wow. It's great.
But then I think they break up because they experience lesbian bed death,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
they're just like, they just become friends again, basically.
Right.
Wow.
And their friendship is so sweet, though. Like,
It
whenever
is.
they're together, she's like, oh my God, I love this skirt. Can I borrow it? And she's like, okay, we need to talk because we haven't had sex in like
Yeah.
a million years.
And then I think just like Chasing Amy, at the end, Helen ends up with somebody who's actually interested in a lesbian
Right.
relationship, and she ends up with a guy.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. The
Let's go
90s.
watch it real quick.
I know. I want to watch right
now.
now.
What year was that?
It's in the 90s.
Is it 99?
Sorry,
I
90.
feel like it's really late.
Oh, I'm lying. It's 2001.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
it's way later than I thought.
Wow. Never forget.
April 2001.
Never forget kissing Jessica Stein.
Never forget Kissing Jessica Stein.
Was that before or after My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Because I feel like it was these independent rom-coms
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time that were really blowing up.
Shortly before, because I have My Big Fat Greek
Or the-
Wedding on
What's on your list? Okay.
Yeah. And My Big Fat Greek
What was the other one
Wedding,
about the big O or somebody like she has an orgasm
Amy's
or
O or something?
Amy's O? I always
Okay.
throw that into that mix there.
Okay.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding was 2002.
Okay. Oh, so
Go
right
Fish.
before.
Oh my God, Go Fish.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
It's another like lesbian.
Okay.
But that's like real. That's like written and directed by a real lesbian.
Right.
That
But
was
it's
the
that
one-
90s time.
But it's like that 90s time. But why I say she's a real lesbian is because the woman who wrote and directed that movie, isn't she the one who inspired Chasing Amy?
and she's in Chasing Amy as her friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So my next one is Coming to America, 1988. Eddie Murphy,
Sure.
Arsenio Hall,
Eddie
so-
Murphy, Arsenio Hall.
the classic rom-com duo.
Eddie Murphy.
So he plays the king or the Prince of Zamunda who has to marry someone because he's going to rule. His father, played by James Earl Jones, and his mother, whose name I can't remember, but she plays. So the parents in Coming to America played the parents in The Lion King.
Oh my God.
Both
Wow.
actors play the parents. It's awesome.
Are they in the same cinematic universe?
They are. I have to believe that they are. That like when they.
So he's like the Simba.
He's
Eddie
the Simba
is
character.
the Simba.
Eddie is the Simba. Eddie should have been Simba, not Matthew Broderick. Are you kidding me? Anyway,
That's to Matthew Broderick.
so we'll get into that. So he's getting set up, and he's not happy. So he says he's going to find a bride on his own, and he says, "Where does a king go to find a bride? he goes to Queens. So he travels from Africa to Queens. They have to be undercover because he doesn't want anyone to fall in love with him for his riches and, you know, to be a prince. So he goes to work at McDowell's, which is a McDonald's knockoff, but in universe it's a McDonald's knockoff. So when he goes, he's like, are the McDonald's people here again trying to sue me? The dad, oh God, he plays the dad. He's so funny. The movie is it's extremely funny. There's like so many people are in this movie. I was just looking. Oh, he just passed away.
It's directed by John Landis.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. So John Landis, American Werewolf in Paris, directs Coming to America.
American Werewolf in London.
In London. Okay.
I don't think he directed the horrible sequel.
Not the sequel. I've never seen either.
Wow.
I didn't realize
London's really good.
London's really good. I'll have to watch it. Louis Anderson is in it. He's an employee at McDowell's. John Amos is plays the dad.
Cuba Gooding Jr. as boy getting haircut.
Yes, Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it. Samuel L. Jackson has a really small role in it. He's the like the robber who holds up the McDowell's. In any event, he meets Lisa, the girl of his dreams, who is the owner of McDowell's daughter. So he works. He takes a job at this McDowell's location as just like a fast food worker, but he's obviously really smart and he's a really good guy, so he gets a lot of notice. But Lisa, of course, has a boyfriend or fiance, I guess, who's like the heir to the Soul Glow fortune, which is a Jerry curl cream. So he has to compete with him for her affection. Then Arsenio Hall, who plays his like lovable best friend and sidekick, convinces Lisa's sister that he's the prince. So he's promising her all these things and keeps asking for money from the king, who then gets like very concerned about what they're spending money on. So he comes to Queens to find Eddie Murphy, and then in the midst of all the hijinks, Lisa realizes that he's a prince and feels very betrayed by him because she liked him when he was not. But ultimately, they end up together, and that's why we have Coming to America #2. Everybody's back in it, except I think the actress who played the mom passed away, so she's not in it. It's great. I think it's stronger for its comedy points than its romance points, but they keep bringing the romance back in. Like, they try to make it the central narrative. Okay. But a lot of it is like Eddie Murphy playing different characters.
And Arsenio Hall playing different characters. They're all different characters in a barbershop. They're all different characters at like these various like charity events. Like sketches in the movie.
In the midst of the movie. But it's a lot of fun, and it's good comfort watching also.
Never seen it.
It's great. It's really great.
Okay, so from 2008, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Is it really that good?
I believe so.
Love that movie.
Okay. I've never seen it.
It is. I've also read the book. I actually read the book in one sitting.
Book's not good.
I disagree. I like the book. I like the movie more. What's charming about the movie is not in the book, which is the movie has a great sort of texture, like great sort of neon twee kind of like hipstery kind of pink glowing kind of look to it. And interesting soundtrack. And of course that's not the tone of the book is a little bit more melodramatic. And it's more explicitly sexual, the book.
Way more.
But the movie is really funny. It's one of those like This All Happens in One Night movie. It's it's one of my favorite like New Yorks. Like New York in every movie is a little bit different. I'd say it's never a character. People who say that are similar to people who say, he's actually Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein. Like, no, New York is not a character.
Do you think that?
No, it's just a setting.
Disagree.
Or do you think New York is just like
it's a setting that has great character to it, but it's not a character.
Oh boy! Some people would say New York is the fifth lady.
No.
She sure is.
What was your question?
What was my question?
I was saying New York features so heavily in so many rom-coms. Do you think it's we're picking them because we're New York people, or because New York is the most romantic city in the world?
New York is for lovers, baby.
I mean, it's not.
Forget Paris.
I was going to say it's not Paris, but it sort of is.
All right, so rom-com set in Paris, French Kiss. What else?
I feel like
American in Paris,
French movies that maybe we don't know.
I feel
Funny Face.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All of the Antoine Donnell
She comes
movies.
back. She falls in love at where her father lives in his garage, wherever he is.
Paris is for capital R romance. New York is for romantic.
No, if you watch the Antoine Donnell movies like Love on the Run or Bed and Board, like those are all pretty
none
standard.
of us have.
I haven't seen any. Never heard of them before this second.
The first film is called The 400 Blows, and then there's 4 films after that. The 400 Blows, the Francois Truffaut famous French New Wave movie.
I've heard of okay.
But he's a kid in that. It's the later ones that are more like rom-commy.
What about those movies like Breathless and like the Jean Seberg, or is it Jean Seberg? Is she American? She just isn't French.
Jean Stapleton.
It's Jean Stapleton.
Well,
Jean
Breathless
Seberg.
is Godard.
Good. Okay, but are they in Paris as well? Or they're just in France.
I think Breathless is in Paris. At least some of it after they commit the crime.
But I feel like
But no, going back
the
to
French are just, they're not light enough for comedy.
Not nearly.
No.
I'm going to disagree, but going back to your essential
Have you ever
question,
met a French person?
going back to your essential question, I do
They're
think
not.
New York is romantic.
They don't have comedy in their blood. They like Jerry Lewis. They're really into Jerry Lewis all the time.
Anyway, yeah. So
not to get too ahead of
I
myself,
think-
but that's when Carrie goes to Paris, it all kind of falls apart. She has to come back to New York.
yeah.
Although she seems to have lost the
We'll
comedy
get
along the way. Never mind.
No, New York is romantic in a real sense of like, it's, it doesn't sleep. There are all these little encaves of places where moments can happen. There's, a glut of different people of different stripes. There are parties and drinking and music and all sorts of stuff. And I think, good movies, use, a good New York movie, is what can you use that other New York movies haven't used?
But one of the things I love the most about it is that it takes place in one night, and I just love a movie that starts when sun sets and then it ends when sun rises the next morning. Like something about that's really romantic.
Yeah.
Too, and fun. I love that it just takes place throughout the entire night, and it's fun. It's got like that adventures and babysitting fun plot where they're looking for her friend who is lost. In the city, lost and drunk in the city. It's really
and there's a lot of fun cameos from like comedians like Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg as a homeless person who says, what does he say? He's like, I love your face or something so weird. And John Cena just runs away in the middle of the street.
You mean
Cena?
Michael Cera.
John Cena. Yes, John Cena's there. My God, Michael Cera. No, he's like, you got a sweet face like a little bird. I like you so much. And then Michael Cera goes, okay, I'm running. And he runs away. And then
and Kat Denning, I really like Kat Denning. Yeah. I feel like that was like a big thing for her. And then there was Two Broke Girls, which I never really watched. And then she's like in Thor movies. Like, I don't know. I feel like she doesn't get what she deserves.
Never went over the top into the stardom she should have received.
Yeah.
People were saying a lot that she was like the new Winona Ryder.
Yeah, she had that kind of
she wishes.
Yeah, I never quite got that from her, but I like her very much.
Yeah.
She's great in WandaVision.
Right, she plays the same character, right? The Thor character.
Yeah, but they give her a lot more to do than they ever did in the movies.
Fucking Marvel. Anthony.
I'm gonna actually take one of mine out on the fly.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna do Breakfast at Tiffany's, and that was my 160s one. But I think that's just too moody to be considered a romantic comedy.
Yeah, it's a
I
hard.
mean, when a lot of the comedy comes from
just
yellow face
racism. Yeah, so let's take that one out.
Rom-com is like porn, like the saying about porn, like you don't know. I can't define it, but I know when to see it. Like,
yeah. I'm going to go to Bridget Jones's Diary.
Okay. Never seen it.
Oh, okay. Jen, please jump in. Bridget Jones's Diary is amazing. Another Austen adaptation.
What is it?
It is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, okay.
So Renee Zellweger plays Bridget Jones, who is a single gal working as a journalist, I believe, like in television journalism, right?
Yeah,
or a producer or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a really long time, but
Colin Firth is in it, right?
Yes, Colin Firth.
Talk about walking sex,
which is so funny because he plays like the same character he played in Pride and Prejudice, but
he plays Darcy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he plays
Wow.
Darcy. He's Mark Darcy, and Hugh Grant is there, and it's like a classic love triangle, and it's just super charming. And a lot of people, I remember there being controversy when it first was being made that it was such a popular book by Helen Fielding, but it takes place in London, and they cast an American actress to play
Yeah.
Bridget, and then once it came out, everybody was like, oh, she's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if that were today, they'd be like,
You're taking roles away from British
you're
actresses.
taking roles away from poor white British women. But anyway, it's super charming. It's super funny. Don't bother with the sequels. Just stick to the OG Bridget Jones' Diary.
Okay.
It's really super. For me, it's super charming.
I somehow
and
never saw it.
For me, it's like what You've Got Mail does for New York, Bridget Jones' Diary does for London.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Well, I would say if we're talking like who are like the big pillars of the rom-coms, like definitely Meg Ryan. I would say definitely Tom Hanks. I would put Hugh Grant in there as well.
Hugh Grant.
We
was in a lot of them.
With Katherine Heigl, once she came in, she killed the genre.
You think? Oh well, Sandra Bullock.
I don't blame
She's
her,
like
though.
I would
Sandra
say
Bullock,
she's
yeah.
one in there. Although I
When you were
can't.
sleeping.
I was trying to include one, and I kept coming back to Practical Magic, but it's not really a
Oh,
rom-com.
I love Practical Magic so much.
Yeah, I love it. I love it too. But then like her other ones, I don't really like
Diane
that much.
Keaton.
Like I know Miss Congeniality
Floats
is
and-
like a big one for her, but none of them like capture me the way the other movie. Like I have a multiple Meg Ryan movies on my list,
Yeah.
and Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock, but like none of them really get me. I don't know.
Like I thought about I flirted with Miss Congeniality. I also flirted with Legally Blonde. But at the end of the day, like those
like, not
two are
really-
not really romantic comedies.
Yeah, it's more about their journey
Yeah.
than it is about. Like they're more like coming of age stories.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just like coming into yourself,
Yeah.
coming into your own.
Oh
Forces of Nature with Ben Affleck.
my god, I've never seen that.
It's not good.
What's that rom-com with Sarah Michelle Gellar where she
Simply Irresistible.
she cooks and then suddenly
Yes.
is a witch?
Yes,
What happens?
they did this on How Did This Get Made? It was insane. I've seen it multiple times. I've
You
seen
love
it.
it.
I adore it. No, I actually don't. It's a terrible movie. But I was so into Buffy that I was like,
Sure.
in a phase of like, I'm gonna watch everything Sarah Michelle Gellar has ever
She
done.
can do no wrong.
And boy, can she.
Greatest actress of our time.
Her mother was a cook and her mother, not a cook, her mother had a restaurant. Her mother was a chef, I guess, but like she can't even make like macaroni and cheese. But then all of a sudden, but she's trying to keep her mom's restaurant open. So she starts crying into her food and it like makes people cry when they eat it.
Sure.
But it tastes really good. Also, there's like a magical crab involved somehow.
Part of it.
Wait, can I just interject?
Mm-hmm.
Last week when I was reading Henry, this has to go out to the audience. When I was reading Janine's Child's Little Mermaid story, he cut a bee off mid-sentence to point at Sebastian and go, "There's the silliest crab I've ever seen." Great.
Silly sidewalker.
People start floating at one point.
Yeah. So all of her emotions go into her food and then the food tastes really good, even though before she couldn't even like cook an egg. Now she can cook great meals because
Yeah.
she bought a crab from a guy on the street and he was like, "You can have this crab." And he's like a weirdo.
Then she turns around. She turns around and he's not there anymore.
Making little faces at her. It's the strangest
Written
movie.
by no one.
Yes.
It sounds just as good as Just My Luck, starring Lizzie.
She buys a crab from a racist character of like an old Asian man.
No.
It's like Gremlins.
She buys it from Mr. Unioshi from Breakfast
Oh
at
my
Tiffany's.
God. It's such a weird movie. Please don't watch it.
But do watch Bridget Jones' Diary.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So my next one, I'm actually surprised, and this might be on your list too, is The Wedding Singer.
Yep, it's on my list.
It's on your list. Okay.
Oh no.
So 98.
No.
What?
I know you hate.
I don't
hate
like
this
Adam Sandler.
movie. I think, or just
Yeah,
you don't like this
this-
era of Adam Sandler. Or you
don't
don't
like-
like Adam Sandler at all.
The only era of Adam Sandler is like almost pre movies, but I don't really like this movie. No,
I like this movie.
I think
a
I like
lot.
51st Dates better.
I like it. I like 50 First Dates as well.
I don't like
but
it
I don't
as much.
think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's a good movie.
Mhm.
I just like it. Like I
Yeah.
acknowledge that it has a lot of weak spots, but Wedding Singer I think is a good movie.
Okay.
It's Adam Sandler, probably at his most charming. I feel like Adam Sandler reached a point in his career. So he went from like, you can watch this trajectory of him going from being like a total asshole in his movies
Yeah.
to being like a nice, relatable guy. To
He
then
took the same
being, like,
route-
way over the top relatable, like not relatable, like
The nice guy.
nice guy, like in Mr. Deeds
Right.
and like in
He
these
took the
movies.
same route Mickey Mouse did. He started
Okay.
off as a merry prankster, and then became
a
a
lovable
sweet.
heel.
Yeah, and then he became a sweetheart that could never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And only the people around him are allowed to be funny.
Yes, and it doesn't really work, but I think he he got his like sweet spot in Wedding Singer.
I think he has chemistry with Drew Barrymore.
He has natural chemistry with Drew Barrymore. I think he is at his most charming in this movie without being like a tryhard. But he also has these great like asshole moments, like when he's, heartbroken and he gets to yell at the people at the wedding that he's performing at.
My favorite part of this movie is John Lovitz as the evil wedding singer.
He's losing his mind,
and I'm
reaping all the
benefits. And then he closes the curtain on him.
Good.
You know, this is one of the first things that I can think of that's like set in the 80s and 80s aesthetic, and which is so
choice.
everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's like overdone now. But
What is it with weddings and the 80s? I feel
Maybe it's because they were like the beginning of weddings being like the big crazy events that we know them to be today.
Yeah.
Because something about like a big... when you think of the 80s, you think of like crazy ass brides with teased out hair and huge gowns and shoulder pads and stuff. And
it's an apex of music and fashion, right? And all the decadence and extremities of that. You know,
all the gowns started being modeled on Princess Diana's gown, so the gowns got crazy big. And then I think, truthfully, like people were trying to copy just like the grandeur and the style. Everything was bigger is better in the 80s, and so I think weddings just like kind of went nuts.
I just watched this movie last week.
Yeah,
there's a lot of transphobic humor.
I'm sure. Right,
super
what's
Alexis Arquette.
Yeah. What's the table?
Great performance.
Yeah.
Give me time.
Alexis is amazing. Steve Buscemi though, so I like her. So Alexis Arquette is in it as George, who is modeling themselves on Boy George aesthetic, and is a really good singer
and singing Boy George songs, right?
You suck.
Right, because they do it.
They're turning on George
again. We gotta get back out there.
It's a good one.
We better eat again, or what's the joke about the fat guy at table 8?
We're gonna eat again before the fat guy over there has a heart attack. And then he makes a face. I can't do it. We're on a podcast, but he makes a face like, "Come on!" And then he melts, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right."
The brother-in-law is probably my favorite part of the whole movie. He's like, "I just said something. I don't know what I just said, but I said something."
Shit, I got piss all over myself.
It's water because he's the hose. Anytime I like splash myself in the sink, that's like multiple times a day. I'm like, it's got water all over myself.
It's got a nice blend.
Maybe I do like this movie.
You do. It's got a nice blend of sweet charm and also like fun 80s jokes. Like I love that part when they're talking to the wedding planner and she's like, "You two are gonna make it. You're just like Donald and Ivana." And she names like all these people.
Bert
and Lonnie. You're gonna be together forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like corny ones.
Great
too.
Absolutely
Absolutely
and a
fantastic
great Broadway adaptation.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Really good Broadway. Did you see the Broadway Wedding Singer? It was good. It was really good.
Yeah. Was it like jukebox? Like
no, it wasn't jukebox, but it was all like 80s style synth pop music.
Okay.
Interesting.
I know a couple who danced to "I Want to Grow Old with You," but like an extended version for their first dance at their wedding.
That's in the Broadway musical "I Want to Grow Old with You" and the song "Somebody Kill Me Please." Those are the only two that like are from the movie that are in the musical.
Yeah. All right. Very nice.
So I could take that off my list because we just talked about it.
That was you who just went, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this I'm going to stand by this. It's a little dramatic, but I think it's a rom-com. The Big Sick from 2016.
Okay, I just didn't like this movie.
This is really, I love this movie.
Yeah. I find her not charming at all.
Ooh,
burn.
I know it's like supposed to be based on his real life.
Yeah.
I find her like kind of like mean-spirited.
I find him very charming.
He's very charming.
And I find him very funny. Yeah. This is starring and written by Kumail Nanjiani,
who's super hot now.
Who's super hot now because he's in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And it's a true story of him and his wife, Emily, who I think she's in the movie. She has like a cameo in the movie, but it's their story. And it's they started dating. They fell in love. They were really like into each other. But his family was like, if you don't marry an Indian woman, we'll disown you. So they break up. They break up and they feel bad about it. She goes into a coma and she's in a coma for like 6 weeks. And during that time, he bonds with her mother and father, played really well by Ray Romano and
they're the best part of the movie.
What's her name?
Is it
from Raising Arizona?
No.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter, yeah. And I've never really liked Ray Romano, but he's so good.
He's great in it.
He's so good in it. And she comes, she wakes back up and he's like, I love you, I want to be with you. And she's like, whatever you experienced, I wasn't there for.
Yeah.
And it's their true story. I find it really funny. Mm-hmm. I love the scene where he goes to, he wants to like sort of almost like renounce his Muslimism. Mm-hmm. So he goes to a burger place. He's like, put 2 pieces of cheese on it. And they're like, we can't do that, sir. Would you like 2 cheeseburgers? He's like, no, take 1 cheeseburger and take a second piece of cheese. And then he's like, sir, I can't do that. And then he gets out of his car and he like throws garbage around. He's like, how about that? I'm so sorry. And he just picks up all the garbage. It's such a sweet movie. It's the performances are great. Holly Hunter and Kumail together, like the scenes that they shared are really nice. I love the scene where he's in the comedy club and some white dude's like, hey, ISIS. And then he tries to ignore it. And then Holly's like, why'd you call him ISIS? And he's like, cause he's Arab. And then he's like, Kumail Nanjiani's like, there it is. I
feel like she's so fierce in that role.
Yeah.
She's like fiercely protective of her daughter. And
Right.
She's like, who is this guy?
Because there's the scene where they're like, you shouldn't move her right now. But the mother really wants to move her to a different place. And then he's like, you really shouldn't move her. He yells at her and he's like, you're going to be responsible for it. And she's like, I'm her mother. I'm always going to be responsible for her. It's really good. If you've never seen it, it's really fantastic. Can't believe you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't. I appreciate the performances. I'm not
you just don't like
by their love story at all.
Oh, okay.
I like the parents in it. I think Ray Romano's great when he's like 9/11.
Yeah. Oh, that's the funniest joke. He's like, how do you feel about
it? He's like, I've always wanted to talk to someone about 9/11. He's like, you've never talked to anyone about 9/11. But he wants to talk to him because he's Muslim.
What about like the joke he says though? And he's like, what do you think about it? And Kumail Nanjiani's like,
yeah, we lost a bunch of our best guys.
It's terrible. We lost like 8 of our best guys.
Obviously, it was a tragedy.
And his brother, because he's too Americanized, his brother calls him a hamburger, which I think is a real thing, and I thought that was fascinating.
Oh, really?
His brother's like, you're such a hamburger, meaning you're American. Like, because he refuses to grow a beard. It's fun. Anyway, Janine's a hater. Anthony.
My next one is 13 Going on 30.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's when I fell in love with Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, well, who didn't? Jennifer Garner. She is she's not a 13. Well, she is a 13-year-old girl. So it starts with a 13-year-old girl in the 80s. She makes a wish that she be 30 because she gets this idea after reading like an article in Vogue or something, or like a magazine that's...
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? Oh, my God.
Yeah. 30, flirty, and thriving.
Yeah, 30, flirty, and thriving. But it's like... It's a magazine that she ends up working for that's poised. It's supposed to be like Vogue. And then she makes a wish, and there's some weird magic that never is really explained. And she like wakes up.
Because she goes forward in time.
Yeah, it's weird. She wakes up and she's 30.
It's not like Big, where she grows. Like she quantum leaps into her body in the future.
Yeah. So she wakes up, and then it's Jennifer Garner playing a 13-year-old in the body of an adult. And she's so charming. She's so good, and she's so funny. And Mark Ruffalo is the grown-up version of like her nerdy friend who had a crush on her. But she didn't like him back because she wanted to get in with the cool girls and be with the little hot asshole kid or whatever. And Judy Greer is there.
Judy Greer is the best friend.
Judy
I know
Greer,
that.
as the best friend, who was her like enemy as a kid.
Okay.
She kind of like, what I like about the movie is like she wakes up and she's living this life that on the surface appears to be everything she wanted. Like she's working for Poise magazine. She's living in New York City in this beautiful apartment. She's like dating this really, really hot like professional hockey player, right? And she just like, as a 13-year-old in that life, like without the lead up to it, when she wakes up in that life, she feels that she soon discovers that it's very empty. And she finds out through talking to people at work and like some of her friends that like she's actually she didn't grow up to be a good person. She grew up to be like a very mean, horrible person who's like, she's like sleeping with somebody else's husband, and she talks about her best friend behind her back or whatever. And then she like wants to fix her life and be with Mark Ruffalo, who was her like child love interest. And then very sweetly, it ends with her going back to being 13 and kissing the kid version of Mark Ruffalo. And then it jumps in
She's
time.
Created so many timelines.
Right? And then it jumps in time again to them at 30.
Does she never experience her childhood?
No, she does, because she goes back.
Oh, we
Just the 30-year-old that she was doesn't exist anymore.
Okay,
because she goes back and she chooses
Marty.
She chooses a different path, and then it jumps ahead to the future, and it's her like buying a sweet little like what was her dream house with Mark Ruffalo.
I remember seeing this in the theater. I loved this movie
Do
when
you
it came
remember?
out.
Wait, stop. This is a core memory. Do you remember you and I seeing in the theater and the woman 2 rows behind us, like loudly having a fight with her husband on the phone during it?
Was that
Do you
this?
remember this?
Yes, but I don't remember the movie.
I remember like her being like, "You're selfish. You're a selfish, horrible person." I'm in the movies right now. And
Yeah.
you were like, and you at one point you just went, "Shut the fuck up."
But everyone was yelling at her.
And then
She was like having a divorce. Their marriage was crumbling
and then
on
at
this
one
phone
point,
call.
It just stopped, and then for like a 5 seconds, and everybody was like, "Oh, thank God, it's over." And then you hear her go, "Why'd you hang up on me? You can't handle the truth."
Step outside.
It was.
That is up there with some of the wildest movie theater moments. Up there with the person falling down
Oh
and
my
breaking their
God.
ankles
Oh my
during hairspray.
Yes,
Like,
we've
during-
talked about that on the
Yes,
phone.
we
during
have.
Good Morning Baltimore,
It's
and a man
amazing.
just
We were
screaming.
judging him.
People being like, "Shut up."
Us doing nothing. Nothing.
He broke
This
every
man
bone in his
injured
body.
himself. But to be fair, we thought he was crazy. Like we thought he was.
Yeah, we didn't know what was up.
We were like, what's going on with that guy? But everyone in the theater also felt the same way. Because no one helped at all.
It was such a Kitty Genovese
I
moment.
think
I'm in so much pain.
I think rather than go see if he was okay, someone went out and was like, yo, some guy fell in there. Because the EMTs came into the theater, picked the guy up, left with him, and we continued watching Hairspray, and nobody moved. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So good.
And like
Oh.
so many weird things in movie theater. Like I feel like we spent so much time in movie theaters when we were younger that we would like witness these strange things happening all the time. And I'm like, is this just a normal movie going?
That was also the night that I parked in a Home Depot parking lot and they closed the gates and my car was stuck in.
Oh, yeah.
So the next morning I broke in and drove through the gate.
Yeah.
You could have decapitated yourself.
I could have, but instead it was super cool. It was like,
you were like the
Smokey
hero
and the
of
Bandit.
the Home Depot. Everyone just like took off in different directions because they were going to come and tow everyone's cars.
Yeah.
God.
God. So yeah, anyway, that's what I always associate with 13 going on 32 is
Oh,
that wild
man.
woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Something about a marriage falling apart in the middle of a rom-com.
Middle of 13 going on 30.
Oh boy. This should be your last one.
Yeah, it's my last one. It's Moonstruck.
Oh, this
I knew
almost made my list.
87. Cher. It's
Well, it's a love story. It's, Cher and
it's another New York love story. It's
Yeah.
an Italian New York love story. She's I just wanted to get the names right because I forgot what her I actually forgot what her name was. I'm like, it's Cher. So her name is Loretta.
yeah.
She's a 37-year-old
But
widow.
she's playing 75.
She's got all kinds of grays in her hair, and
She looks like Mother Gothel
yeah,
from
she really
Tangled.
does look like an old hag. But it's Cher, so she's beautiful. And she also because like Danny Aiello looks like he's in his 50s.
Yeah. I feel bad for him in that movie.
So she's widowed and she lives with her family. Her mom, played by Olympia Dukakis,
Great.
so good. And
The dad who's cheating on the mom.
yes, the dad is cheating on the mom with his like Gumar, who's like some redhead,
Yeah.
like Irish Harridan looking
Yeah.
woman. So it's like all these, the family is so central to it and they're all so charming and wonderful and you're really like invested in what they're doing because like the mother has a whole subplot that's happening and it's
Yeah.
really, really entertaining. So basically like
Oh, yeah, right. With what's his name?
the guy
from
the dad
Frasier.
from Frasier.
Yeah.
That's another thing we quote all the time. We're like, it's freezing because he tries to get inside with Olympia Dukakis and she's like, good night. I'm not. We had dinner together and that's it. So Cher is a bookkeeper for her family's business and her boyfriend, played by Danny Aiello, proposes to her, but he's got to go back to Sicily to like take care of his dying mother. And it's one of those things where she feels like this wedding's never going to happen because he just doesn't.
Then she
seem
falls
like
in
he
love
wants
with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage,
Which I think that's one of his first wild
performances.
performances.
Yeah.
Like he's crazy in that
He is
movie.
crazy. He plays.
He's in a different movie entirely.
Yes. Yes.
But it works.
It really works.
Yeah, it does work.
So Danny Aiello's younger brother, Johnny,
Right, because
played
he's
by
like, can you?
Nicolas Cage. Yeah,
He wants him
go
to come
invite
to the.
him.
Yeah.
Invite him to the wedding. I'm going to be in Sicily. We're
What's his
getting
thing? He like
engaged.
lost his hand or
He
something.
lost his arm or his hand. Did he cut it off?
No, it was like in a
So-
bread accident
it
or
was
something.
something with-
He said he
with
cut
bread.
it off, though, I think, in the beginning.
Isn't he like, I have no brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's so good.
So she goes to invite him. He's like a basket case. He works in a bakery. All the women are in love with him, but he's like so tortured bread maker. And she's like famously like, snap out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Stop acting like a total asshole. Oh,
She won an Oscar for that.
yes. She says you got bad eyes like a gypsy.
It's a great Italian American
It
movie.
really
Oh,
is
it's
so
covered
good.
in marinara sauce.
Swimming in it. She calls him a wolf. She's got all these great like Italianisms that she
Yeah.
does. I feel like Gaga would play this role now. Of
Oh,
course,
God.
Brilliantly.
Of course. Nicolas Cage can come back and play the same role. But basically, she starts falling in love with this guy, with Nicolas Cage. He's wild. He inspires her to, give herself a makeover to look like a 37-year-old woman, not like a 65-year-old woman. She dyes her hair. He takes her to the opera. She gets like a fancy little dress that shows off her figure. She cries at the opera. She passes the rom-com opera test. She has a tear.
Yeah. And that's where she sees her father with the other woman.
Yes. So she sees that her father is having an affair.
Everybody always sees everybody else at the opera.
That's where I see most people having
That's a rom-com
infidelities.
trope.
Mm.
Yeah. I've never been to an opera, so I've never seen anyone cheating on anyone.
I've been to the opera multiple times, and I've seen
All you
dozens
see is
of people
infidelity. Yeah.
just cheating left and right.
Yeah.
Well, it's Valentine's Day on all
Oh
of
my
those
God.
occasions.
That's
right. Oh my gosh. So it's just great. There's this wonderful scene where the aunt and uncle, like the uncle is awake,
Oh, yeah.
he's looking outside, there's a huge full moon. That's where the title comes from, is Moonstruck,
Yeah.
because like the huge full moon makes you crazy.
Don't they like
makes you
think she
crazy in
stole
love.
money or something
Yes,
crazy?
and that's like very minor subplot.
Yeah.
because she's the bookkeeper, and she's
But they're
closing
afraid
up.
to say it or
Yeah,
something?
it's actually kind of sweet. It's resolved so quickly.
Yeah.
Because she closes up and like takes the envelope of money, puts it in her coat, and instead of depositing it at the bank, she just forgets about it. But it's just in her coat. So
Because she's getting her makeover, right?
right. So then at breakfast, that like the next day or 2 days later, they're like, the money, Loretta. What did you? She goes, oh, I'm so sorry. It's in my coat. They're like, oh, thank God, we were so afraid to ask. And then it's over. It's just fine.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a
yeah.
normal
That's it.
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Cosmos Moon. I
Yeah,
love
every
that.
family member has room to breathe, and like it's really the whole family. It's a real ensemble.
Mhm.
Well, I just watched this movie during COVID, with like the height of COVID, on your recommendation, because I'd never seen it, and I was always like, "This movie was everything that I would love. Why have I never seen it?"
Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
during I think it was like the initial lockdown when we were all watching a lot of TV, I watched it, and I remember texting you like, "God, I didn't think that so much attention would be spent on all the elders."
Yeah.
There's so many
Really, really
elderly
good.
Italian characters
Yeah.
that are fully fleshed out, and I was like, and there's some weird moments in this, like the Cosmos Moon moment is so odd.
Moon. Then he like goes to ravish his wife.
Yeah, it's so strange.
It's crazy.
But I love it.
I know.
I
But
really
then
love it.
the breakfast scene is wonderful because then like it all comes out, right?
Yeah.
So Danny Aiello comes back from Italy. He's like, my mom got better. We're not going to get married. She's like, no, I know. I'm in love with your brother. So Olympia DeCox is like, do you love him? And she's like, I love him real bad, Ma. She's like, it's too bad because it's going to make you
That's
crazy
too bad.
things.
Yeah.
Because the mom is in love with the dad and she knows he's cheating on her.
Yeah.
And it's a really sweet scene. Like, you got to break it off with this other woman.
Yeah.
And she's like, te amo. And he's like, does he like punch the table?
Yes,
And she
it's so
says,
amazing.
like, you got to stop it with the other woman. He's like upset.
All right.
But he's like, all right, fine.
It's like never again.
It's really sweet.
What's his name?
He doesn't. My grandfather was never unfaithful, but he reminds me. He looks like my grandfather, my
That we
Italian
know of.
grandfather.
Mm.
He
This is the one married to Bibi.
Yes.
God bless.
played by Vincent Gardenia
Okay.
from All in the Family.
Okay.
He was Archie's neighbor that sold his
Yeah.
house to the Jeffersons.
Mm.
Doesn't he like slam the table? He's like, enough. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
That's
wanna talk about it.
that's my
That's such
grandfather.
that's
yeah,
such an Italian thing.
yeah.
It really is very. Obviously, we grew up in like a very Italian family, and it is very authentic.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah,
Everybody being in everybody else's business.
yeah. Okay, it's my last one. So I hope you guys have seen this. Obvious Child from 2014.
Yeah.
So this is a film starring Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate plays a comedian, and she has a one-night stand with Jake Lacey, who was in the latter seasons of The Office. He's like a handsome white dude. And she gets pregnant, and she decides to have an abortion, and it's about like what it's really like, the whole process of how much it costs and what it feels like and what you deal with. But along that way, he like contacts her and like wants to get a second date, and she doesn't tell him. And then finally she tells him as they're like starting to like each other, and she thinks maybe she screwed it up, whatever. And then and she's getting her abortion on Valentine's Day.
Right.
And then on Valentine's Day, he comes with flowers and goes with her to the doctor, and she gets her abortion. It sounds it's progressive, but it sounds edgier than it is. It's actually a very sweet movie. And it's really funny. It's really, it's sort of her movie, and I really like Jenny Slate.
By Henry Winkler. Is it?
No, her dad is played. No. Her dad is played by
her dad's
Richard
Henry
Kind.
Winkler in Parks and Rec. That's it.
Yeah, money, please.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's Richard Kind.
Richard Kind. Does he have like puppets?
Yeah, he
all
plays
over
like
the place?
he's like a Jim
Muppet
Henson.
guy?
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah.
I also don't like this movie. You know what I think it is? I don't like movies where people are doing their stand-up acts in the movie.
We'll get to that when we talk about Sex and the City. But no, but I think
I don't like that.
I think
across
she's
the board.
genuinely funny though.
She
funny. Begins the movie
Didn't
talking
she?
about vaginal
Okay.
discharge.
Am I remembering this incorrectly? Did Jenny Slate not perform at an open mic where you also performed comedy?
Oh, I don't remember. If that happened, I don't remember.
I remember her. Like, I remember her name. I remember her. And then I remember when she was cast on SNL, I was like, oh my God, we saw her.
Wow. That must make you feel really bad about it.
Yeah. She wasn't funny.
I feel bad that I don't remember it.
I think she was cute. She was, but I don't remember her being.
I think her stand-up now is really funny, and I think she's really funny in the movie.
Well,
she's funny.
You were with me.
I guess I saw her.
Yeah. She's great. She had a big comeback from like a real weird early start where like she said the F word on I think her first episode of SNL.
Yeah, and then
but she didn't get fired right away though.
Yeah.
She
waited till the end of
they waited till the end of the season to fire her.
Yeah,
but now she's on
was, like,
Big Mouth and she's on a million
she's all
different
over the
things.
place.
She had the great character with the doorbells.
The doorbells. The
Right.
doorbells. Yeah,
She's of course from Parks and Rec. She's the one who does "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious."
What's her name? What is their name?
John Ralphio?
Mona Lisa Ralphio.
Yeah.
So
Saperstein or no? What is it?
John
Is it-
Ralphio Saperstein.
Yeah.
Mona
I thought
Lisa.
that- okay,
Yeah.
the last name's not Ralphio.
I've never done anything wrong.
She's the what? Yeah.
Technically,
I'm homeless. So good. So don't listen to Janine's hate. It's a sweet movie.
It's just fine.
But it handles it
I think it
really in
handles
a
it
good
well.
way, I think.
Who plays her friend? Gabby Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay. Who's just such a weirdo.
What a
Yeah.
mess. Gabby Hoffman.
She's great in it though.
She's great.
She is.
but
She's good.
What a sweet little kid, and she's just a mess. She gives wild performances.
She really does.
Hers Adam's sister on Girls.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Good though.
Yeah.
She's also on Transparent.
I've never seen
It's
that.
like a crazy role. She's out there, but she's good as the friend in this. I like the idea of what if you have a one night stand and it's actually with the one,
Right.
but you just don't want to have a baby right now.
You know what
with
it
this
is?
person you barely know, but
It's
like
look
it's
who's
actually kind of
talking.
going to work
No,
out.
no, what it is?
Without the
It's
baby.
it's the correct version of Knocked Up, right?
Right,
Knocked Up
right,
is
right,
this
right.
insane thing where they just, without being overly Puritan about it, they say they decide to have the
Yeah.
kid. It's very weird, that movie.
Very weird. They should.
Looking
not end
back,
up
that's a
together
weird
at the
movie
end of
in a
it.
lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so it's.
Although
I think of it as the
implied that
anti.
they're not together anymore, and this is 40. Like I feel like
Well, they just disappear from the
Yeah,
world. Like
well,
it's
yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything about them in that.
They wouldn't.
That's
say
another.
that.
This is 40 is another like depressing.
Judd Apatow needs to
They need their
get
divorce.
a better editor.
Knocked Up is weird because I remember they start having sex because she's like horny and pregnant, and she's like, "Well, I have to have sex with you because I'm pregnant with your kid." And it's like, no, you don't though.
Yeah, it's all very.
Yeah,
it's all
seems
very like
really
we have
weird.
to.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about it is the great Harold Ramis as Seth
Yeah.
Rogen's dad.
Yeah. He's like, babies are great.
And he's a pothead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I only smoked on the weekends and most nights.
Well, Katherine Heigl does get a lot of hate from me, but I will say
She gets so much. There's so much misogyny with.
but I will say
her in that
everything she
movie.
said about that movie was correct.
Right,
And,
and
just the wrong. She was ahead of her time in her criticism.
right. Now people be like,
She's right.
she'd be right, yeah. But at the
Yeah.
time, people were like, fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone
She
have?
has a crush Shonda though. You know.
You don't crush Shonda.
Mm-mm. Does anyone have any honorable mentions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
these are just ones that were on my list.
Let's keep it to a dozen.
All right.
I just have my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Sure.
And As Good as It Gets.
Slightly more serious.
It is.
Because like
Another great performance from Harold Ramis as the doctor.
Okay.
The doctor who's, remember? You guys
No.
remember? 'Cause remember the son is sick and they don't have the money to take care of him?
Yes.
And Jack Nicholson pays Harold Ramis to come and like be their personal doctor.
It's a great movie. Whatever happened to Helen Hunt? I'll ask again.
Oh, it's directed by James L. Brooks. Why did I think Nancy Myers?
I'll ask a third time.
What's the question?
Whatever happened to Helen Hunt?
she's around.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her.
She'll show up when you least expect her.
She won the Oscar for that. That beat,
she?
and she beat Titanic. She beat what's her face for playing Rose.
Oh wow.
That was the iconic moment where the camera was zoomed in on all of their faces.
Okay.
And Kate Winslet's face is like, what? That she didn't win? It's great. You got to go back and YouTube it.
She's got to earn it. You got to earn it.
Like her face drops that she didn't win.
I'm glad Helen Hunt got it. I think Kate Winslet's weird. I love her.
She was
but-
in What Women Want,
That's right.
the Mel Gibson
Mel
rom-com.
Gibson.
Just in the reboot of
Judy
Mad
Greer's
About
in
You.
that too, I think.
The reboot of Mad About You on the Sprite Network. Streaming on Sega
no.
Genesis.
Oh my god.
That was like it was like Time Warner Presents.
It was something
It was so
weird.
weird.
It was
No one
on, it was
will
on a
ever
cable
find it,
provider.
ever,
Yeah, it was like
ever.
Spectrum.
Yeah, so on the bottom there was scrolling of all the titles on every
Yeah, the
channel.
TV guide streaming service.
On Animal Planet.
Okay, let's see. Well, the Nancy Myers ones, it's complicated. Something's got to give.
Mhm.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Like a late '90s one that got a lot of attention was Notting Hill.
Yeah.
That was. I thought it was cute.
I'm not a Julia Roberts person.
Yeah. No,
I like
her.
her.
In that.
I like Runaway Bride.
None of us picked Pretty Woman.
No.
I'm not
I
a
don't
huge
like
fan
Runaway
of
Bride.
Pretty Woman.
I never got it. Like I knew it for what it was. It was like already a modern classic.
Mhm.
And
If you want to see
Jason Alexander beat
almost
a woman.
rape somebody.
Yeah, attempted
yeah,
rape.
it's crazy.
And then he's like, "What? She's a hooker." It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Gary Marshall.
This movie does not age well at all.
Oh, Never Been Kissed.
Oh, that's a cute one.
That's a high school one.
That's Mark Ruffalo too, right? No, it's
No. Well, Never Been Kissed, I like it, but so many of these movies are so
It's problematic AF.
yeah.
Yeah, he thinks she's a student.
Yeah, and then he's like, at the end, he's like, she's like, I'm 30 years old. Isn't that great? And he's like, why? So that I can feel okay about having feelings for you? And it's
He's like,
ooh,
I'm going to
yikes.
check myself into the nearest jail.
You just said that.
Yeah.
He was going to leave his wife for a high school.
Yeah, who was
Ooh,
it?
fuck.
It wasn't Mark Ruffalo. Who was it?
No, it's Michael Vartan.
Who?
Michael Farton.
Okay. The name like that.
Then there were some on lists that I was like looking at that I love, but I don't think they're rom-coms like we were talking about. Like The Parent Trap is on there, which I
Yeah,
adore,
that's a
but I don't
kid's
think
movie.
it's a
Yeah,
rom-com.
not a rom-com.
Yeah, Grease, fantastic, but a
Not a
musical.
rom-com.
Let's see. Oh, there's something about Mary.
That's definitely a rom-com, but I
Yeah.
never really liked that movie.
I
Oh,
love
geez.
it. I love it.
I like something about
I
Mary.
love it a lot. It was almost in the top 5.
One of my favorite romance movies, and I guess it's a comedy, but it's silent. It's the City Lights from 1931, the Charlie Chaplin movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny and it's romantic, but it's pre-rom-com as a genre, so it's like there's a
Okay.
lot of melodrama in it. But that's the one where he's Charlie Chaplin, so he's unhoused
Mhm.
and he falls in love with he's running away from like the police and he runs through a car It like comes in one way and gets out the other way. So a blind girl who's selling flowers hears him come out of a car and assumes he must be rich because this is the 30s.
Right.
So he goes along with it, and so she thinks he's rich even though he's a bum.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not saying homeless, but we are saying bum.
no, bum's okay.
Bum's okay. Why is homeless not okay?
I have no idea.
I said it.
People say
ago.
people like say unhoused.
Bum is no good.
A hobo.
He's a hobo.
Well, there's different tiers: hobos, tramps, and
Tramp.
Well, he's
vagabonds.
technically a tramp.
Tramps are having a fun time.
Tramps work on they
He
ride
literally
the rails,
was
so
called
look
the
for
tramp.
work. Hobos travel for work, and then bums I think are not looking for work.
Bums beg.
Well,
these are Depression era.
he's a tramp. He's the little tramp.
vocabularies. He's the little lovable little
Yeah.
tramp.
Anyway, he like robs a bank to buy her a surgery to fix her eyes.
Is that a thing back in the 1930s?
Yeah.
Because there's still blind people today.
Now, in this movie, you can fix people's eyes, but then he's afraid to see her, and he sees her again at the end. You know, it's beautiful.
She's like,
Um,
what's with that little mustache?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it's the 30s. It's
I
not.
didn't think like a mustache kind of voice. I don't like it. Shave it.
It's like the Rick and Morty,
Yeah,
where he
exactly.
takes off the helmet and he's got a mustache. Well, you don't like it? No, it's like you got the helmet and mustache. It's like, you know what, like a hat on a hat. So the thing that I mentioned before was, and I couldn't put it in, it's so problematic, is I think Annie Hall, Woody Allen's Annie Hall, I mean, in a different universe where it's not directed by Woody Allen, it would be on my list because it's that good. And I think all of these other things come from it.
Yeah.
It's like the Citizen Kane of rom-coms. I mean, even even Nora Ephron will say like Woody Allen was such an inspiration to her work. But
And
you
it's
know,
New Yorkie
he's
in that way.
yeah, but he, you know, I've had a long journey with him. Like when I was younger, I just ignored all that shit. And then like there was a point where I read that weird article that his friend wrote defending him. And I was like, that's probably true. It's probably didn't do it. But now that you've got the victim, like basically as an adult saying like, yeah, this happened. It's like, I can't ignore it. And you know, there's art in artists, but he, you know, it's not like,
I was
it's
shown
not like
that movie in high school by
Yeah.
a teacher.
yeah. He's
and
a
that was
monster.
after the
Yeah.
allegations.
Yeah. So I couldn't. It's not an honorable mention. Nothing honorable about it, but
It is good.
But it's an incredible movie. It's just weird. It's tainted by the monster who made it. So I don't know. It's crazy. Let's wrap this up. We did it.
I think
We
did
sure
it.
did.
We certainly did.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We're over an hour.
We
We're
had to end with Woody Allen. It's like, and this, ruminate on that.
yeah. Just end on something gross.
And we're gonna move on to
This
something.
did not have the effect of a rom-com. It's supposed to leave you feeling like light and airy. This makes you feel weird,
Yeah.
conflicted.
Yeah. Well, this has been PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined by Anthony Bongiorno, Janine Gagliardi, and hey, Jen's here. She waved. Doesn't understand the medium. You can listen. you can subscribe us and follow at PCMC Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also find us on Facebook. What? And YouTube now. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. We end every episode by saying,
Go
Bye-bye.
bye.
I like that you did it together.